G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, where we are casting the Zotac Cup number 187, casting the finals, which is a best of 5 series between our red Zerg in the bottom right hand corner, Ace's Scarlett. The bottom left hand corner is our green Protoss player, GungFuBanda. Now, GungFuBanda pulling out all the stops last game. If you haven't seen it, duck back on the channel and grab it. We'll throw the link in the video down below, but GungFuBanda are actually able to take game number 1 in a bit of surprising form. So going into map number 2, which is Frost, he will have a slight edge. So yeah, we'll see how Scarlett's able to respond to this. Scarlett certainly has been in excellent form recently, and throughout 2013 I've seen a number of excellent games from her. I'm really interested to see how GungFuBanda plays this game out, particularly because relying on those sorts of trickery from game number 1 is certainly going to put him in shaky form against a player of Scarlett's caliber. Generally won't work repetitively, so it's either going to need to try a new variety of cheese, or try and take it to the late game with Scarlett, which is probably a choice between a rock and a hard place. And I know you guys might think I'm being a little bit hard calling it cheese. Keep in mind, I'm a Protoss player. I do enjoy the good old cannon rush or double proxy racks from time to time. It's why we play Protoss. I'm not gonna lie, Protoss is fun. Have lots of shenanigans, things like Dark Templar, cannons, all those things. They're all good reasons why we play Protoss. That, and they're the funky high-tech aliens, but you know. So we'll see what GungFu has in store for us in game number 2. Going to be scouting out to the top, so it means that the last base you'll scout is actually Scarlett's. Scarlett, not being deterred after that first game, knows it's unlikely the same trick will be utilised on her again. She's got her expansion up, and spawning pool now well on the way. GungFu going for a much more standard Protoss opening here. Got his Cyber Core and his Gateway coming up now. Just wanted to talk in the meantime while this game gets underway. I am actually heading away for a few days come Saturday, so you won't be seeing me for a couple of days, but you shouldn't actually notice. We'll make sure there's plenty of uploads coming up to the channel regularly, using the nice scheduled uploader for YouTube. You should be seeing videos regularly at 8 AM and 8 PM every day, or at least certainly one of those brackets, if not both of them. So I do plan to have plenty of content coming up to the channel, so make sure you tune in while I'm away and get your fill of StarCraft 2 action. If I don't respond to your comments while I'm away, I am sorry. I'll try and scan through those when I get back, but certainly enjoy all the feedback you guys have been giving us recently. I always have a bit of a chuckle as I read through those comments, so hope you're enjoying the content, and by all means go ahead and share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever social media site you enjoy. Go ahead and share it there and see if we can drag a few more people into the StarCraft 2 world. So looks like GungFu's grabbing his natural now. Mothership Core is going to sit there to ward off any early Zerglings. Scarlett actually fearlessly grabbing her third already before the 5-minute mark, nice and quickly. Going for a gasless opening until she's got these bases established. First extractor on the way now, so that she can grab her Zergling speed in due course. And Scarlett here scouting out, going to see the main base and pull back with this Overlord, ready to scout at a bit more opportune moment. The Zergling is going to make it right in the front door, walling off with a pair of gateways here. So there is actually 3 gateways. We could see some sort of a timing attack out of GungFuBanda. If I call him GungFuBanda, I apologise, guys. I've seen the movie. I know and love the movie, just like everyone else out there. So Twilight Council going down as well. The real question is this for Dark Templars, or is this for some sort of Blink Stalker play or Charge Lot play? Fourth gateway also on the way. I think we're going to see some sort of timing attack executed here by GungFuBanda, and we'll see how he handles himself. He certainly, it may have seemed like I was ragging on him before, guys. I wasn't. Anyone that's 15 years old and can play toe-to-toe with Scarlett has my respect, and he's certainly got a long career ahead of him. So moving out here with a few early units, the Mothership Core and a Zealot, going to be able to put on a little bit of pressure here, walling off with a pylon as he's unsure of just how many Zerglings there are on the way. doesn't want to have to deal with those. Actually warping a few more Zealots to back up this mothership core. There are 12 Zerglings on the way, so Scarlett responding with plenty of lings. This is only, well, it is 4 Zealots now, so Zealot, nice positioning between the Mineral Patch and the Vespene Geyser. Gonna prevent that, Zealot from being surrounded, so... Curious, and indeed GungFu is going to follow up with the Dark Shrine, so we'll see some Dark Templar coming in momentarily. This will actually be fairly providential for GungFuBanda, as there is no detection on the field. Proxy Pylon, however, is going to get picked up. Scarlett does already have some roaches on the field, so these Zealots are going to have to inflict some damage now or forever hold their peace. A few Dark Templars will be coming up behind us, but they are still a minute away, so these Zealots doing their very best to do some damage. A few Time Warps actually going down, which is expensive use of that Mothership Core's energy. We'll see if that was worth it in the units lost. 800 to 400, so definitely favouring Scarlett there, and Scarlett actually having 3 bases. But the most devastating thing for GungFuBanda is the fact that he now has a Mothership Core with no energy. Potentially may have wanted to wait on throwing down that second Time Warp, as now he won't be in a position to Photon Overcharge. So things could get just a little bit rocky for him as he tries to defend here. Mothership Core is still about 50 seconds away from being able to do any Photon Overcharge. We have GungFu desperately trying to wall up here. Actually have a Dark Templar here. The saving grace of GungFuBanda's defense is going to come down to this Dark Templar. Sentry is going to get picked off straight away. GungFu could really use another Dark Templar in here if at all possible. This Dark Templar just swinging away up to 7 kills. Another Dark Templar in there now up to 2, but these gateways starting to get sniped off, and GungFu breaking straight into the main here. So Zealot going to be warped in to try and defend here, but things are looking quite dire for GungFu. This is one of those times when throwing down that second Time Warp seems just a little bit greedy. He could have saved it and Photon Overcharge and potentially held off this push quite a good deal better. So unfortunate for GungFu, but with Scarlett on 3 bases, there is a Dark Templar causing havoc in the main base of Scarlett. Actually sniped her main hatchery. I didn't even see that with this attack underway, so certainly a nice counter-attack from GungFu there, able to snipe the main base, but Scarlett with 2 more bases isn't going to suffer too horribly from this Dark Templar. We have a Spore Crawler actually managed to be on the field, and GungFu is going to try and pluck off the spawning pool, but Overseer now on the way, and we'll see if that's going to allow. Yep, Scarlett spotted this poor Dark Templar. His little kill streak is over, and he get picked off very brutally by those Zerglings and Roaches. So we look on the production tab, we see Scarlett rebuilt her lair there with a Spore Crawler to ensure no more Dark Templar could make their way into that and snipe the lair. And now we have GungFu still trying to mass some units up to defend with, rebuilding his gateways at the front of his base, and trying to boost out his +1 upgrade. But slightly, I wouldn't envy the position he's in currently. It is 2 base to 2 base, which isn't a horrible position for Protoss players to be into. But the real question is, where does it go from here? And the answer to that question is GungFu is stuck in his base. Scarlett can happily take her main base back and get a 3rd base, and even take a 4th base. As GungFu, it'll be some time before he's able to push out of this base. He's stuck very much on the defensive with Roach speed on the way, and Scarlett's going to be able to keep a lot of pressure on the main base of GungFu, and keep him in his base for the foreseeable future. As soon as this 3rd base is rebuilt, Scarlett will be able to pop out a wave of drones and be out mining GungFu by a considerable portion. We have Scarlett just being careful to check all these expansions. Always a good choice. Ninja in an expansion, very popular on these large 4-player maps, makes it easy to get an edge your opponent not suspecting, but Scarlett not going to fall for that. She is checking every expansion. She knows that her advantage is economic at this point. Her ability to take bases while her opponent's stuck on 2 is certainly what's putting this game heavily in her favour. So being very careful, ensuring that she doesn't lose to any sneaky ninja bases, And GungFu, though, fairly fearlessly dropping these proxy pylons on his way to Scarlett. Actually on the move command here, that's a little bit unfortunate. Could have picked off quite a few more Zerglings if he'd been on the attack move command. Scarlett actually going to pull back and drop some static defense. Now, there's a bit of an interesting choice. There aren't that many units here, but there are quite a few sentries. So, sentries certainly able to make life very difficult for these roaches and Zerglings. Scarlett actually going to fall back to the low ground and hope that GungFu actually moves across the top, because if she can circle around and pin him between the static defense and her own army, it will put her in a considerably good position. Actually, hallucinating another Archon. This is a nice choice from GungFu. That'll attract quite a bit of damage as Scarlett tries to focus those down. Unfortunately, that the real Archon getting caught there on a few units and being unable to do the damage he would have liked to have done. We have Scarlet Speed Roaches just making their way across the map now, trying to pin GungFu in place. Actually picking off all the slower sentries there. GungFu is going to rely on some Blinkstalker Micro, and we'll see how he goes with that. If we check out the units lost, it is considerably more to GungFu at this point. So certainly Scarlett in a very strong position, and having thrown down a 4th base of her own. So Scarlett making all the right moves here in game number 2. GungFu being forced to kill his own pylon so that he can get out of his base. Certainly a position I'm quite familiar with. Found myself in that spot more than once. But always good to throw down those and keep yourself safe rather than let a massive stream of speedlings run amok in your base. Scarlett continuing to build some roaches, but actually tech switching to some mutas. Quite a few mutas in the back of the base, picking off a sentry, a nice little pick up there, and able to spot GungFuBanda's expansion. So gonna be able to pin him on 3 base. Oh, the mothership core caught out of position. Will it go down? Scarlett knows she wants to snipe this. Indeed, she's gonna take a little bit extra damage on those mulas. Big blink forward from the Stalkers, picks one off, but taking that mothership core means no photon overcharge, which makes this a very difficult position to hold. Scarlett can wrap around from either side, so force field's not much of an issue as we check off the different tools Protoss can use to try and deflect this. Force field is one. Scarlett can wrap around. If we look at other options, well, based on the tech choices available, there's Dark Templar, and Scarlett has plenty of detection with her army, and there's no robo for Immortal, so this Roach Sledgehammer just going to be very dangerous. Force the cancel on that 3rd base, and GungFuBanda's just got to rely on those force fields to stay alive. They're going to supply block GungFu there, and Scarlett just showing just how dangerous she is. Oh, nice blink's going to pick off a few of these mulas. But Scarlett shows her form as she just controls the pace of this game. Not closing prematurely for the kill, but just keeping GungFu in the position she needs while she macros up, gets her upgrades, things like flyer attacks, Zerg missile attacks level 2. Scarlett's harassing the main base while the roaches harass the front. Just enough to keep these units at bay, and Scarlett almost able to grab the Dark Shrine. Will she go back for it? She will. That is going to prevent any more Archons being on the field, and Archons are an excellent counter to the Mutalisk, so there's a reason she was willing to take that damage to snipe the Dark Shrine. It does make it quite easy for her later on, as it leaves the only tool for dealing with these Mutalisks as these Blink Stalkers. And Archon's certainly something that GungFu would want on defense. Scarlett being very cheeky, using the edge of the map so that only a couple of Stalkers can attack. Scarlett being very cost effective, not something we often see or can say in Protoss vs Zerg. Baiting just a little bit too hard there. GungFu able to even the score with a few volleys. But Scarlett up on 5 bases to 2, so certainly in a position where she can afford to lose those Mutalisks and throw them away all day long. Doesn't want to throw them away for nothing, but if she can thin down the Stalker count, she'll certainly be in a great position. But GungFu, I think, has realised the position he's in. Scarlett, he is going to engage him on the creep and surround and mop up the units there. So Scarlett obviously a little bit surprised, trying to work out what GungFu's finding funny. I think GungFu knows exactly the position you're in. They're very mannered end of the game. GG, you're so good. So obviously GungFu knowing that he's going to suffer in the later stages of the game against a player of Scarlett's caliber, but giving her a run for her money. It's 1-1 in this series going into game number 3. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. By all means, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. We'll be uploading plenty more great StarCraft 2 content over the next couple of days. So we will catch you all in the next cast. Thanks, guys.